Hey parents, welcome to this week's at-home video. We had a great week last week starting off our semester with your students and walking through the Word together. We're going to continue our series this week, Almost Christian. And last week the challenge to your student was, like I told you guys, Jesus is inviting you to something more than checklist Christianity. He's inviting you to abundant life. And so for the next 3 weeks we're going to unpack what that looks like. What is this abundant life that we experience through Jesus? And so tomorrow night it's going to be talking about how we don't experience abundant life alone, but with God and His people. And so we're going to be talking about why we gather together on Wednesday nights and why we gather in D groups and small groups, because that's an important facet of our walk with Jesus. I tell our students frequently, your relationship with Jesus is personal, but it's not private. It is something that you make a confession of who Jesus is. You give your life over to Him. He forgives your sins. But He created us to walk with each other through this. He calls us to walk with one another as His people. And so we're going to be talking about what that looks like tomorrow night and going in Psalm 111 and looking at kind of what happens in worship. And so I'm excited to dive into that. One of the challenges that I'm going to leave with your students tomorrow night is getting involved in a D group, along with inviting friends to come along with them on Wednesday night. And so for D groups, we've got cards that they can fill out here. They may bring it home. There's also a link where you can actually sign them up online for a D group. I'm going to include that in the description of this video on YouTube, and so you can find that there. But as you're continuing the conversation at home with your student, I would spend some time talking to them about what it means to be in community. Talk to them about why it's important to come on Wednesday nights and be part of a corporate gathering, why it's important for them to be part of a small group. Share some experiences about how you've been engaged with that, how you've seen God move in those ways, so that they can kind of get a gauge for what that looks like. But really, to continue the conversation at home, the question I want you to ask your student is, why are you considering getting into a small group? If they aren't, if they already are, what do you love about your D group? Because that's going to be a really big focus about what we talk about tomorrow night. We believe that discipleship really happens in those small group communities. So praying for you, praying for your students this week. I know this is a big one with school starting back. So if you've got any questions, please reach out. We'll see you guys soon.